What's going on, everyone? My name is Mandeep. Welcome back to another amazing episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about my projections, what I think is going to happen in the next 2 years. On the screen, you are looking at what my projections are. The end of the year is here, and I believe that the bottom of the market was somewhere in November. I think that actually what I'm seeing right now in the market is that every single condo home that I'm making an appointment for is either sold or has multiple offers on it. And that is very strange for this time of the year. Normally, what we see at this time of the year is a slow market, prices coming down, sales are slumping. So it's very odd. But I believe that the mother of all spring markets is on the horizon. As you can see on my chart, I think that in 2024, we will see prices come very close to the peak that we saw in 2022. Okay. And then after that, I believe that will happen sometime in July or August. After that, the market will cool down just a little bit. And then we will see a higher peak in 2025. I know that most people are thinking, how could this happen? Interest rates are all-time high. Trust me, the market is active. There's a lot of buyers in the market. There's so much demand. You will not believe. I'm seeing it on the front lines because I see this on a daily basis. I have so many clients that are buyers that are looking for deals, but I cannot find them because everything is getting bought up. On top of that, you have this guy right here who is the head of the Federal Reserve of Canada, and he's saying that there will be rate cuts next year. Okay. We have the Financial Post said that Bank of Canada will cut 3 times next year to bring rate to about 4.25. There are so many people on these sidelines that are waiting to jump back into the market. And the reason they're waiting to jump back into the market is because it's hard to purchase real estate right now. Trust me, I know. If you got a mortgage right now, you're probably looking at a 5-year fixed at about 5% or 5.5%, something like that. And on $1 million home, that's a lot of money being paid out of your pocket every single month. I totally understand. But the people that purchase real estate during the times that when it's hard to buy real estate are the ones that usually bank it when it's easy to buy real estate. Because when it's easy to buy real estate, everyone is jumping back into the market. You want to be buying when times are hard. And in Canada, we hear the same sad story. Perfect storm of market conditions threatens Vancouver rental projects. Basically, what they said in this article is that roughly 9 out of 10 developers who respond to the survey said that the purpose-built rental projects are no longer feasible with conventional debt financing. They either have to turn to CMHC or some other, I don't even know if there's any other program that will give them what type of rate they would get from that. So not only is it tough to get financing because the interest rates are really high and the projects are not looking very profitable, on top of that, land prices are really high as well. And in the article, they went on to say, with all these different variables coming into play, it's extremely difficult to make the math work to build new rental projects. So if there's 1 million people coming to Canada every single year and there's no place for them to live, that's going to drive the rents up. And I believe what happened in the last couple of years where we saw inflation go through the roof, we're going to see that happen once again. And I think in the short term, what's going to happen is interest rates will come down. They're going to have to bring them down. But eventually, they will go back up again because they're going to have to tame the inflation. They will not be able to get prices under control. So on top of interest rates, land being very expensive to build on, we also have something called the STEP code in Canada. The STEP code in Canada basically says that you have to be net zero carbon by 2030. So there's step 1, step 2, step 3. We're on step 3 right now, working our way towards step 4. This adds even more cost when building a home. And that usually gets pushed on. Actually, it doesn't usually, it gets pushed onto the buyer. All the costs that the builder encounters during building the homes that they're building get pushed onto the buyer at the end of the day. And the buyer has to come and purchase a house in Abotsford, a brand new house. It costs like $1.8 million. No wonder they're putting 2 suites in that home. So it's just ridiculous how expensive it is to build a home. So Vancouver, I don't know how accurate this is. $350 a square foot. I don't build in Vancouver. I build just outside of Vancouver. I built a house in Richmond actually for a client of mine. It was a custom home. And they spent more than $200 a square foot. So you can build it less than $350 a square foot, but it's not easy. It's not cheap to build a house in Vancouver. It would be fine if it cost $350 to build $350 a square foot to build a house if the land was cheap. In Abbotsford, if you want to purchase a lot, you have to pay $1 million for the lot. Now, there's some lots here and there that are really small, like a 3,500 square foot lot that you could pick up for about 770 or something like that. But majority of the lots in Abbotsford right now are priced over $1 million. And then you have to purchase that lot for $1 million. You also have to pay GST on it, 5% GST. So that's another $50,000 right there as well. So surprisingly, America's housing shortage explained in one chart. We are not the only country in the world that it has a housing crisis. America is also in the same situation as us. They are short 3.2 million homes. Now, I want you to notice one thing. When interest rates are low, exactly what they were between 2000 and 2010, or they were not too high, let's say, they were building houses because builders purchased land, they could finance their project, they saw profits on the other side of the house being built, but now that's not the case. As interest rates have gone up, as land prices have gone up, the profits have decreased. And what I'm seeing the smartest people in the world doing right now is like Jeff Bezos, Grant Cardone, Rod Cleve, all these guys, what they're doing is they're purchasing existing homes instead of going out and building. You're never going to see one of these billionaire CEOs say, hey, I'm going to start a construction company. Because what ends up happening to all construction companies is they go bankrupt. When interest rates come up, they go bankrupt. The people that have cash flow on a monthly basis are the ones that survive. So this, if you follow any of the experts in America, they're saying that interest rates are going to be coming down and that house prices next year will be skyrocketing. I like following a guy, his name is Ricky Carruth. He is bang on exactly what he says is going to happen. And he says that the next spring market is going to be the biggest of all time. So basically, we have a whole bunch of money sitting on the sideline waiting to be deployed back into the economy. Right here, the pandemic, Q1 right here, pandemic, this shot up because I think they injected like $20 trillion into the market. And that's when we saw real estate, crypto, stocks just go crazy. It went all parabolic. And now we're seeing that it's been a little bit of time since COVID happened, since they pumped all that money into the economy. Now we have a lot of people on the sidelines waiting to find the perfect opportunity to jump back in. And that's why I believe that anyone that's going to be purchasing real estate in the next couple of months, yes, the next couple of months, like 2 months, is going to be laughing to the bank. It feels like the same time, exactly the same time right before COVID. There's this urgency that I'm seeing in the buyers to buy homes again. And the last time I saw this was right before COVID. And everyone knows what happened, right? The market went crazy and they tried to tame the market by increasing the interest rates. So I agree, investing in real estate now may set you up for a very lucrative investment in the next few years. I believe 100%. We are in a global synchronized market. All the countries in the world are experiencing the same thing. And, some of these articles are bang on. You just got to go through them and read them. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of bullshit as well. But you got to decipher. You have to know which ones are telling the truth and which ones are not. The more you read, the more you understand. There's too much liquidity in the market still. Economists turn around in home sales likely in 2024. Borrowing costs are expected to ease further next year, which should entice buyers to return to the market. But there's a wild card that could stunt sales. I don't think there is. I think that the market is going to be ridiculously hot next year. And the reason is during this time of the year in Canada, we normally see house prices coming down. Stock market cycles, 60 years of stock market cycles. This is what we just went through, a 25 reduction. And during COVID times, it was a 33.9% reduction. We've seen it go deep as 51.9%. So what do you think is going to happen going forward? After there's been a 33%, every time there was a 33% correction, we saw a 100% increase in stocks. Here's was another 33% correction. We saw a 582% increase. This is the one where we saw 22%, 48% increase. Then we saw this. And then we saw a 73% increase, and then we saw a 48% decrease. Then we saw a 125% increase. So what do you guys think is going to happen here? I'm not guesstimating what the market will do in stocks. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen here. But, the bull markets are a lot bigger than the bear markets. If you purchase down here, you're most likely going to experience something like this. And it says the average return, average duration is of a bull market is 51 months, and the average duration of a bear cycle is 11.1 months. So bear cycles don't last. They wipe the economy out. They expose everyone that has a company that has some sort of weakness. It's the worst time to be selling in a bear market. It's the best time to be buying in a bear market. You know, let's read what this says here. A historic rise in house prices fueled by subprime lending led to the S&P 500 to its worst crash since the Great Depression. Yeah, that was a big crash. So, are you bearish or are you bullish? That is the question. I was showing you at the beginning of the video, these are my projections. This is what I think is going to happen next year. This is not financial advice in any way. Make sure you guys, when you're investing in real estate, have some sort of plan. Don't just go and buy a development property that you have absolutely no experience with. You know, get in touch with a good realtor. Join my Level Up Real Estate Club. I'll put the link in the description down below. I have a course on how you can renovate and flip properties. Make sure you get in touch with me if you're looking to buy real estate. I think that we're going to have an amazing year next year. Good luck and invest carefully.